the cassette, the free hub, the cassette, the free hub. On this episode, you're going to learn how to recognize which of these you have on your bike, what are the differences between these two technologies, and in what circumstances you should not be considering buying a bike equipped with a free hub. Just take a look. These are the sprockets of your cassette, and while you spin the cassette, you can see the lock ring here, this one here, spinning along with your sprockets of the cogs. That means this is the cassette. And these are the cogs or sprockets of the Freewheel. And while I'm spinning it backwards, the lock ring, which is right here inside, does not spin. That means this is the free hub, which is the older technology, and I would even say this is the outdated technology. The first, but not the main difference between the cassette and the Freewheel lies in the way we assemble the cassette to the free hub body of the wheel's hub. This is how it looks like. We need to locate this one right inside the lock ring, because the cassette will spin while we try to unthread the lock ring. We need to use additional tool, which is called chain whip. That's the way we can safely secure the cassette. And then we use the wrench in order to unthread our tool or our lock ring. This is already done by me, so I'm not going to use a lot of force here. This is our lock ring. And now we can remove the cassette from the free hub body. In case of a Freewheel, we have very similar tool. This was the tool for the cassette. This is the tool for a Freewheel. These are not the same tools. This one will by no means work with your Freewheel. There are also quite a few types of the tools, removal tools, for the Freewheels, so you have to make sure this is the tool for your particular Freewheel. Another problem with the Freewheels quite often will be that you're not gonna be able to use this tool unless you remove the axle of your hub, because as you can see, the nut of the axle is in the way of this tool. Sometimes you will be able, manufacturers try to make these walls as thin as possible. Here, impossible to use, so I have to remove the axle of the hub first. It can look differently for different hubs, but just in general you need to remove the seal first, the rubber seal or cover, and then we're gonna remove the nuts. This is 15mm wrench, this is 17mm. And just now, when you don't have any axle or nuts on the way of your removal tool, you can use it. But this is also a very exciting moment. Do I have the right tool? Do I have the right tool? Is it the right one? It's the right one. In this case, you don't need to use the chain whip we've been using for the cassette. You will see why in a second. But here, probably you're gonna have to use a lot of force, a lot of torque in order to remove this one because you've been constantly tightening it while pedaling. Use my method to hold it against the wall, and then it will be easier. I've prepared this one for myself, of course. I'm gonna remove this plastic cover so that you don't think it's like an integral part of a freewheel. This is how the hub looks like after removing the freewheel from it. There is just simple hub with a thread right here on the drive side so that you can thread the free hub onto it. That's it. And this is the hub after removing the cassette from it, meaning we've got the free hub body assembled onto the hub, which is not assembled to the hub for the freewheel, because the freewheel has integrated clicky thing, which I'm going to show you in a second. So this is very different. Now, which one is better and why? The freewheel, the cassette. The difference is going back to the assembly. When you assemble the cassette, you are using this lock ring, and while you pedal with the cassette, you're not tightening this lock ring. It's completely free from your pedaling forces, this one here. On this side, while you pedal, you are tightening this thread here. And everyone who has a store and is servicing bikes knows how difficult it may be to remove the old freewheel from the hub of somebody who's not been really servicing the bike for some years. So this is just better than this one. It is. Second thing, the cassettes will have more gears. This one is 10 speed, you can buy 11 speed, you can buy 12 speed. This is 8 speed. Tell me guys, are there some 9 speed free wheels available? I'm not sure. I think the 8 speed is the maximum. And that's also the limitation of the free wheel. And then when you need to remove and replace the cassette with a new one, or the cogs, right? The sprockets are worn because you haven't been changing the chain too often, or it just has so many, like 20, 30,000 thousands of kilometers on it. Here you will only replace the cassette. On some systems you will be able to buy just one sprocket, if that's the worn one, and replace it, which is super environmental friendly. Here you replace the free wheel, which means the sprockets with the free hub, all the poles here inside, because this is integral part of it. There is also a huge difference between these two. The free hub on your hub will be lighter for the cassettes. So this is more environmental friendly. This is not. This is probably still made on some machines from 70s or 80s, I don't know. And we could easily have cassettes on the cheapest bikes today. I don't know why is it still like that. Another thing, you cannot simply swap the free wheel with the cassette on your bike. So you cannot upgrade the bike with a free wheel. In order to do that, you would need to replace the free wheel and also the hub on your bike. And because the wheels with the free wheels are so cheap, no one will actually make it for you. It won't be a good idea, because building the wheel with the new hub for the cassette will cost you just too much, more than the whole wheel with a new free wheel. If you have the cassette on your bike, you can use different cassettes on your hub. So you just remove the cassette and change from, let's say, 8 speed to 9 speed, from 9 speed to 11 speed, and so there are also some issues with the compatibility. There are different systems, but the cassette system has wide range of different parts. Here you don't have this opportunity. Also, if you go for different rides, maybe different races, you can change the cassettes with different gearing range. That's much easier on the cassette. On the freewheel, you're not even doing this. So this is 8 speed, this is 10 speed, you can have 12 speed, and I think 8 speed is maximum for the free wheel. So there's a huge difference. When not to buy the Freewheel. If this is not the first bike, if you're buying a bike for yourself, you know you love mountain biking and you will be probably upgrading your bike. Buy the one with the cassette. It doesn't have to be an expensive bike. Just the minimum for you would be having the cassette on your wheel, on your rear wheel, not the Freewheel. Because upgrading will not be possible. If this is just the first bike for your kid who's going to use it for sometimes some trips, going to the school, Freewheel is okay. You're not gonna be making a racing bike out of it. It should have the cassette. I don't know why these are still being produced, but Freewheel is okay then. For somebody who's using the bike more often and will be replacing the cassette, will be wearing down those more often, buy the one with the cassette. I think bikes for about $400 will already have the cassette. So that's my opinion, but that's my take, my practice on cassettes versus Freewheels. Guys, let me know what do you think about it. And now I need to assemble these to the bike. So I'm gonna do this like in 2 minutes with the cassette and 10 minutes with this one, because I need to put this one first and then the axle and all the balls, and then I need to adjust the tension on the bearings. It takes time, guys. This is it. Thanks for watching. Bye.